gals, it's relax time. No, it's not. It's seat time. So tonight, we have decided, and I'll show you why we're doing what we're doing and how we're doing it, and yeah, that stuff. So we don't know how wide. See the kill mat? Oh, ain't that pretty. We don't know how wide these seats are, which is awesome. But we definitely know that it definitely does not, the track doesn't even come close to reaching. So what that tells me is we're gonna have to mount these to the seat first, then throw the seat in the car, then see how far off we are. Because we don't know how wide this is, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm just gonna like wing it and stuff. And that's how we're gonna like make these bracketries work. We know we're gonna have to extend it. That's not a big deal. We're gonna find out if we should get the factory type brackets off the Evil Bay. Thinking about it. Or make these brackets work. They come with the sliders and the... This was all in the magical kit that you got if you got them off the Amazonian site. I was wrong. These seats were $320, and they are just absolutely gorgeous. The cool thing is it's oyster white or something like that. The same color as the factory interior, so they're going to match great, you know, especially since they're both brand new, so they ought to match. But anyway, so the other night, we did a whole bunch of stuff. We patched a rear place in the frame that we had found back here in that little elbow, so to speak, or canine, however you want to say it. We found out while we were replacing the fuel line, and we bought aluminum fuel line. First time we had ever bought that, and I'm telling you, that stuff bends. You can't, yeah, you can. You can see right there. It bent beautifully. All I did was hold it in place, took the old line and held it right to it and formed it. It is probably the best I've ever done besides copper line. So, but I got it off the Amazonian site. And FYI, guys and gals, if your car, Trans Am, Firebird, Camaro, whatever, has Hurst T-tops, you're going to squeal whenever it comes time to buy the daggone weather stripping. It's like, for real, a third of the cost of this car. It's ridiculous. I don't know why. At least if you have the second series, which apparently I do, because mine has these oh so great plastic brokenish things going on here. Yeah, they're not supposed to be like that, but the weather and time and heat have cracked those and made them, you know, what they are or aren't. I don't even know. But, you know, if you have Hurst T-tops, that's what you can expect, especially the second series version, whatever you want to call them. Tomatoes. But we got to get busy. Just know, honestly, whenever you are doing these projects, I jokingly said that we are restoring a 79 Trans Am. Now, we're not restoring it frame off, but we're pretty darn close to restoring the whole darn thing. I mean, I got weather strip seals, I got door seals, I got to get T-top seals. We put a hood latch on it because the hood latch was absolutely, the cable, absolutely frozen, so that's good. You know, more character outer. We end up doing a lot more to this car than what we ever intended to. But that's okay. Freebird's going to be pretty awesome. Let's stop yakking and get the cracking on these seats. What do you say? All right, sorry I made you go through all that. It's been a long day. Been chopping up trees. Which, by the way, if y'all need anybody to chop your trees down in the southern Ohio type area, Danny Oaks, get a hold of him, and I'll try to get you his phone number and all that good stuff, all right? Anyway, I got to get back to work because these seats, unfortunately, are not going to fit themselves, all right? Are they? Show me. Oh yeah, it's Freebird, not Christine, right? All right, well, here we go. All right, so before I get too far along, I'm going to explain to you what I did. We put the brackets on this seat, and we set it in here to see how close we were. The good thing is it's a mile off. Yeah. So, what we're doing, we're going to take some angle. Now, we're seeing how level the car is on the rack. Ironically, it is very level. So that's actually going to work in our favor. The other good thing is, both of these brackets are completely different. Yep, so you're going to have to custom make dos brackets. Here's how we're going to do it. And this is how we have been doing it. So, we put this bracket here, and let me just plop you on my head here so y'all can see what I'm done been doing. We cut this one based off of this hole right here. See that hole? So we know it's going to mount there. We know that it's going to mount there. And we just need to make it level. See how that's level? Now the thing we're going to do is we're going to have to attach another piece of metal coming this way. Or yeah, we're going to have to come get another piece of metal to branch off of that to come back this way so we can drill a hole and put the darn thing in there. So what we're going to do is take a pair of vice grips. Once we have this thing perfectly level, we're going to clamp it and we're going to tack weld it. Boom, boom. And we're making sure we're flush with the floor there. And we have plenty of room to drill a hole up here. As soon as we have all that, this bracket, good to go. We're going to repeat the same for this bracket. And all we did, I'll just show you. We set this bracket like this, and we put our level like that, and we marked the very top of the bracket. We went over and cut that sucker. So that's exactly how we're going to make that bracket. Now, after we have those two done, here comes the tricky part. The tricky part is that the brackets for this seat seems to be actually wider. So what we're going to have to do is join these two brackets and extend some metal out to where they can bolt onto the seat. But whenever we come to that part, we'll do that, okay? For now, we're going to brace up all of this. We're going to make that bracket, oh, there we go. That bracket, this bracket, real simple, boom. And before we ever mount this, we are definitely painting these things. We're going to clean them all up, make them look gooder. Yeah. So, unfortunately, you are going to have to put in the seat. Maybe yours will line up. If you bought these seats and you have a 79 Trans Am, they're not going to. Just know that. If you can find a seat bracket for your car named Planted, they are expensive, but they fit perfect. They honestly fit perfect. I have them in the IROC. And if they did make it for this, I would absolutely positively buy them right now. I'm not even joking. So, nonetheless, we're going to do exactly as I told. We're going to line that up, pin her with some vice grips, make sure she's flat there and level, and tack. And then we're going to move on to the other bracket, and then we're probably going to join these two. Or we might take some grease, put right here, put some grease right there, touch the bracket, boom, touch the bracket, boom. That way so it marks our hole for us. Does that sound? Or we can even take paint. That's right, we can go from the underside. However we do it, you know, we're going to have it marked. And then we can just drill the hole accordingly. And that's that. I mean, let's just get to it. What do you say? All right? Allow me to say this took extremely too long, and hopefully I did it the right way. Time will tell. So what we did was, this is our support bracket to that way so we know the distance that the car is inside. We got all 4 bolt holes aligned, and then we added that bracket. Now, a level. We took our level, we put a piece of metal from side to side, and of course that's the piece of metal I used anyway. So we took a piece of metal from side to side, from here to here on the back, and it was level. Then we come up here on the front, from here to here on the very top of this metal, and it was level. The reason why we did that was the front needs to be level and the rear needs to be level. And I know what you're thinking, it's sloped, correct? Well, think of the way the seats are made. They're also made like that, right? So we're going to hope that we did this correctly, because if not, we need to raise the butt end, you know, like that much, at least on that side. But if we do, we do. I mean, it's just a simple bracket. It's not that big a deal. Now, our second step is going to be to take this and sort of transfer it, so to speak. I'm going to clip you guys to the cap here, so hopefully it'll make a little more gooder sense. Since we already put our brackets on the bottom here, and we're keeping our plastic on, trying to not mess up our seats. Now, that mounts to the car, and this mounts to the daggone seat. You see how that's different there to there? So what we need to do is make another bracket from the side and go in whatever holes you want to here. So that way, oh man, we ran into an issue already. These seats are like kind of different. I'm pretty sure I got it right. I might have these brackets upside down, because you push down and usually you push up, pull up, I guess, to like go up and down on these slots. So we might have to like flip these. Just saying, that might be a thing. Yeah. Either way, it's the same principle still. What we need to make is a plate to go from here to here on both sides. You see how that's like, without measuring, I'm gonna guess 1.5 inches difference, maybe 2 inches. Or, you know, 6. But anyway, what we need to do to make this connect to there is I think we're going to flip these. I'm not sure if that's correct or not. That may get to the top. A little FYI, there are no destructions whenever you get these seats. So I just kind of wung it, if I'm going to be honest. And they're probably wrong. The wrong way mounted, that is. But nonetheless, this bracket still remains the same. We just have to add side brackets to connect to the seat itself. So away we go. We're gonna do that, and then I might be wearing something else because it's been like a long week already. All right. Wish me luck. We're gonna flip these brackets and see what is more gooder. Okay. Here we go. All right, guys and gals. So what we got now. By the way, Chevelle, you rock in concert. That was freaking awesome. Sorry, that's a little ADD happening. Me and my brother went and saw however the magic words go last night, and they were awesome. Anyway, this is our bracketry. As you see, we cut a little V right here so we could bend it to the floor. This one did not require it, which is cool. The good thing is both sides of the floor are completely different. Yeah, is that good? I don't even know. Anyway, so we set it in there, we put the bolts in, then we, and this will make sense why I didn't try to show it, is because it was physically impossible for me to pull that chair into there and show you what I was doing. So what I was doing was, I have this pulled up, right? I marked right here to the front of this bracket. I marked it right here because that's where we're going to attach another bracket Yeah, I know. There's brackets upon brackets upon brackets, but this is how we're adapting it, right? So this mounts to the original floor. Then this mounts to this. We're going to weld a piece from here to there. You know what I mean? We're going to take this super piece, this flat stock here that is an 1/8 inch thick by 3 foot by 3 foot, and we're not using the whole thing, just know that. But we're going to cut off a pretty good slab, like yay big. We're going to make 4 pieces, obviously, out of this one. And let me just break this down for you as far as how much metal it's going to take to make this. This is the piece we started out with, right? Here. That piece right there. I think is that 5 foot? Hold on. Nope, that's more than 5 foot. That's about a 6 foot piece. So, to make one of these brackets, you're going to use the majority of that piece. You might have a foot left, maybe. I went and got this flat stock, and the reason why is it's wider. I was going to use these, but it didn't fit on the channel very well. That's really the main reason. But we're going to take this flat stock on grinder to make it shiny-ish. We're going to tack it there and there. We're going to put it, I'll just show you. Give me a few minutes to get these pieces cut to where I think I need them. And then I'll show you with vice grips and magic how we're going to do it. All right? Give me just a few minutes. All right, so making these brackets are a little more difficult than, you know, just slapping some weld together and all that kind of jazz. But I'll let you know what I'm doing. I went and marked this plate, and I did it right in the center. I marked and used this the middle hole right there, and then I used the longer slotted one right there. That way, so whenever I put this bracket on here, if I had any kind of, you know, whatever, I could loosen this up a little bit and slide it back and forth and put it where I need to. See what I'm saying? So, I also used my square. Yep, real easy to get to. And then I simply lined the top up like this, top of that, and then I squared that off. And then the bottom I didn't like get super tight yet. I actually want to see if this is going to work. Curiosity killing my kitten here. But I did mark on here, I marked it right after this bend, and that's where we're going to weld this plate to. There are 3 holes in this right here. So if this doesn't fit the way I like, the good thing is we can move this bracket to make it go further up or further back. That's the great thing about universal seats here. And honestly, if I don't like where that hole is, I can drill above it or below it if I choose to. I think drilling one dead center is going to help me more than hurt me. I drew this line on both sides because that's where it, I know it sounds wrong, but that's where it looked center. It looked like it was center of the bracket, if you will. Now this goes toward the floor, and I lined it up like so, and that right there looks pretty darn, you know what? Oops, bullfrog. If I'm going to be smart about it, all I have to do is really measure from there to like the center of the bolt, and that should give me, well, the only thing is the consistency. So let's go, let's say that is 22 just off of dead center. And shoot, that's not going to work. Will that work? Yeah, that'll work. Okay. So if we measure, let's go to this bracket. We know this bracket's straight. So the bracket, let's just say it's just under 1 inch that way. I can't go off that way. I gotta go off the seat, don't I? Or do I? I don't know. That's about right. So these are, actually, I made all these plates identical, which is what really helped. Here's what we're gonna try. I think it looks centered. So we're gonna attack him. Doot, doot. I guess. We're also gonna mark these guys here. And I did mark right rear, left front, right front. Because these brackets, once you mark them, are now specific. See how that is just slightly less than this side? There's a method to the madness, I'm telling you. And that's not marked correctly because, yeah, this one was loose and I didn't tighten it enough. But that's what we're going to do. We're going to make sure this is square. Since we got this one square with our actual square, you know, we're going to square it up the exact same way. You know, like I showed you anyway. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to square that up. We're going to tighten that down a little tighter. Just tight enough to get it in position. Set the bracket where we think we need it, where the front lines up to here. And then we're going to mark it and just hope we got it really gooder. That sounds like a plan. I don't know if it's the correct one or not, but it's definitely a plan. All right. All right. I need like 12 hands. So let me get back to this. We're going to tack it in and then we're going to try it in the car and see how it feels. Sound good? All right. Give us like 8-9 hours. All right, guys and gals, moment of truth. It sits in there. It sits correctly. I only put 2 bolts in it because, well, the other 2 align anyway. But 2 bolts will let me know, did I do this any kind of right? Ugh. Oh. Dare I say, kids, I think we're golden, Pony Boy. This feels really good. Really, really good. Like, we got headspace. We got plenty of headspace because we're, you know, not very tall. So that tells me that the bracketry should work. Now, if you're very tall, honestly, what I was going to suggest is that you buy and or keep your original brackets and modify them to make them work with these brackets. My brackets were rotted completely. Man, this thing is centered and everything. Oh my God, this is so great. I'm pretty happy with this. The only thing sucks is now we're gonna build that guy and hopefully like do it twice, which should be doable. I mean, we nailed this one the first time, right? I'm happy with it. So drill your bolt holes a little bit bigger than what you need for movement. Just FYI, you do what you do, I'm gonna do what I do. But if you drill your bolt holes just a little bit bigger, you're gonna be just fine. Lessons learned on this guy, I'll tell you. So I didn't worry about falling out of the car. I didn't worry about being level from here to here. Hopefully you guys can see that. From that bracket to here, don't worry about that being level. Level up front, level in the rear. Because seats naturally have this going on with them, right? There you go. Now, this looks like, if I'm not even joking, it kind of resembles the factory looking bracketry. So, dare I say, we nailed it. In that top, I mean, look, we have plenty of room. Plenty of room. So that's even more gooder. These are not going to be the best seats maybe if you're like 6'12" though. I'm just gonna warn you. We adjusted it all the way up, so now we have plenty of room to adjust it backwards. So, and also, I was trying to keep the seats from getting dirty. God bless it. I kind of forgot to stretch the plastic back over the seat. But nonetheless, it molded in, it looks great, it feels freaking great, and it feels solid. So, for this, if you do it the way that I did it, you're going to need a tape measure, a square, a level, and 2 6-foot, oh, there we go, 1/8 inch angle by 1 6-footers. Get 2 of those, guys. You're going to need them if you do it this way. If you don't, you do you. I'm going to do me. And that wraps up at least 1 seat. 1 more to go. But don't give up. You can do it if I can do it. I mean, that was a little tricky. It really was. We ended up having to drill another hole in that square plate that I showed you. You remember how we went dead center? We went one above it, and it actually lined up beautiful. I mean, you couldn't ask for better. Another thing that you need, whenever you are tightening these down to the brackets, that you made, use lock washers. Why? So they don't wiggle loose. Lock washers are your friend. Other than that, you saw everything. Those bolts are 7/16 bolts. I believe they're 7/16. Double check. I can't remember. But that right there, that's all she wrote, my friends. Until next time, hopefully this helps you. I'm sorry I couldn't do everything and show you, like, I tried to break it down as good as I could whilst doing it. And honestly, this is the very first time I have ever made brackets for seats, period. And it worked. So I'm grateful and I'm lucky. So thank you guys and gals for watching. I appreciate it. We're going to get busy making the other seat. And then next week, hopefully, we can get to the headliner and the these things. Yeah, sun visors. And we can get that in, get the carpet back in, and hopefully, really, really soon, start doing some body work. That would be nice. Get it back on all fours, shipped right here, and start sanding, doing some body work. That would be absolutely fantabulous. So wish us luck. As always, I wish you guys luck with your project, and thanks for watching. We see you all here next time on Right Turn Garage TV. Till then, y'all have a good one. We'll see you.